They told me I had 5 years to live. I figured, so what? I might as well try to build a car that I dreamed of.
So my dad asked me to take this for a road test, make sure the car behaves and does everything that it's supposed to do. Lucky me. Super comfortable car so far. I mean, these late 427s were about as sorted as Cobras got. Super light cars, you know, rated at 4.25 horse, but probably closer to 500 horse, with these being the same engines as the SC cars. Let's stand on it a little bit here. Oh man. That's fast. Very comfortable car to drive. Take my hands off the wheel. You know, even on these rough roads, car goes straight, step on the brake pedal, car doesn't wander at all. Give it a nice smooth downshift. Day like today, out in a 66 427 side oiler, you can't help but have a smile on your face. Such a powerful car, but also such a great cruising car. I mean, you know, they have those Cobra tours where if you own one of these real cars, you can go and drive them, and a lot of guys do. I mean, we've bought cars from collectors, you know, thinking of a specific guy, he's probably put almost, you know, 30,000 miles on an original Cobra, on those Cobra tours. Even though they're almost 60 years old, these cars are meant to be driven and an absolute pleasure to drive. All right, so I'd say the car is well shaken down, does everything well, pulls hard, stops great, goes through all the gears, water temperature's great, all the temperatures are great. Now, this is one of 55 side oilers, and I'm not gonna pretend to be the guy to explain to you the difference between a center oiler, a side oiler, and all the different configurations of Cobras. So I'm gonna have my dad come over here and explain to you exactly what this car is.
There's always a lot of confusion around 427 Cobras, the motors, the options, you know, if they came with single fours, dual fours, 427s, 428s. Let's break it down to just 427 Cobras. We know that the initial batch of 100 roughly were 427s, then the next roughly 105 were 428s, and then the last 55 were 427s again. But there's a big difference between the first bunch of 427s and the second bunch of 427s. And everybody always says when they have a Cobra, I have a 427 side oiler. What does that exactly mean? And the reality of it is only 55 road cars ever came with side oilers. Let me tell you exactly what that means and show you so you can actually see the difference between a side oiler and a center oiler. So for starters, this car here is one of the late cars, 3328. So it is the last of the 55 cars and one of the factory side oiler cars, which makes it rare on its own right. So it's one of the 55 side oilers. So like I said, I'm gonna tell you what is the difference between a side oiler and a center oiler. Well, the easiest way to see the difference, if you can crawl under the car, you have a block, is a side oiler has the screw-in frost plugs, and on the driver's side, it has an oil galley that goes along the side of the block with little plugs in it. So now literally the oiling system went from the center of the block where you couldn't see it externally to the outside of the block where you can see it externally. The other big thing is the screw-in frost plugs. A center oiler has push-in frost plugs. A side oiler has screw-in frost plugs. There's always some anomalies. Let's leave those aside for a second. Some of the marine blocks had screw-in plugs, but let's just forget about those. 99% of the cars Side oilers, screw-in frost plugs. Center oilers, push-in frost plugs. Side oilers have the oiling system on the outside, center oilers on the inside. All 427s, whether they're side oilers or center oilers, still have the cross bolt mains, and you'll see those are the bolts that actually hold the main caps in place. All 427 have that. 428s do not have that. So what makes this car even rarer is of the last 55 factory side oiler 427 street cars, only 2 came with this 2 4-barrel setup. So how did that come about? Well, originally the center oilers all had 2 4-barrels, the 428s all had single 4s, and generally the 55 last cars had single 4s again. But some of the SC cars came with 2 4s as well as a single 4, and it makes sense that they probably had a couple leftover motors, so why not stick them into the road cars? This one has factory paperwork showing it's one of 2 that are known with factory paperwork to have the 2 4-barrel setup on a side oiler motor. And if you put that in terms of, other rare cars, you look at a 446 pack compared to a regular 440, huge price difference. You look at a Ferrari, a 6-carb setup on a 275 versus a 3-carb setup, significant price difference. Same holds true for this. The other thing that's always interesting about 427s is the colors. Sometimes you see them black, sometimes you see them blue, sometimes you see a combination. All of them are correct depending when they left the factory. Early cars are generally black, late cars are generally blue, 428s are generally blue. There's always exceptions to the rule, but let's use the average car. So this car again, late car, blue engine, side oiler, extremely rare with the 2 4s having the single 4. This is the exact same motor that would have come in some of the SC cars. What makes this even rarer again, only 5 silver mink, which is a super desirable color, and I should quantify that. Like all of the SC cars and all the competition cars, in a few road cars, they weren't painted by the factory at AC, they were later painted. This car was sold new by Shelby as a silver mink car, even though it left AC cars in primer. Kind of a cool side note to it. So again, 5 silver mink 427 side oilers built. This is the only one with a 2 4-barrel setup. Really cool, interesting car. I hope that kind of clarifies the difference between a center oiler and a side oiler, and I think we've shown you everything so you can walk up to an engine now and go, hey, that's a side oiler, that's a center oiler.